Well, here we are Saturday, still at it, working on the wiring, labeling. Last night I made this little guy that you saw. George is over here working on the intelligence stuff, and I decided to tackle these cables. So life would be a lot easier if this end comes off. And if it does, don't tell me now, because I've been struggling with this ever since the plane build. And got the alternate air cable, mixture, throttle cable out, and we powder coated the little piece that goes in there. It's somewhere, and gonna try and put that together. And if you remember from an earlier video, I made a brace that goes in there to support the back of the cables. Now I just gotta find it. So here we go. What did you just say?
Oh, not everything.
Oh.
I said 2 more wires, and then
you said, I think this will be done.
The engine.
Oh, you mean just that plug will be done? Yeah. Oh man, I was already booking my flight. All right, so this is our super duper powder coated aluminum, whatever you call it. So that went in, and then behind there, I don't know if you can see it. Oops, got wires in the way. Made a little bracket, and basically tried to figure out laying upside down where it goes. So riveting that in, and while I was at it, I put 4 holes for a fire extinguisher. Not that we don't trust George's wiring, but you know, we have a room for fire extinguisher. So anyway, and what are you working on, George?
I was cleaning up a couple things for the engine monitor. We did some rework on this is a data conversion unit that'll translate the data from the ignition box for the timing or analog RPM.
Okay.
So we'll have the timing data coming into the engine monitor, and then I also cleaned up a couple additional wires and stuff here, and then routing some additional things forward to the firewall for.
What's this one here?
That's gonna be the EarthX battery info.
Okay.
So that's a new one that.
Oh, that's got to go through the firewall. Okay. Yep. So we have what, 3 or 4 wires that go through the firewall.
Yep.
And still got to do the diodes. I know.
Hooked up the ignition harness.
Oh, yep. I got
ignition
that.
Switch to the light speed output harness and everything. So.
Cool. All right, chipping away at it. Inch by inch, we'll get this beast tamed. All right, back at it. All right, progressing on the progress. More wires wired up for the modules. Trying to get this one situated. And in the meantime, I put these things in. Kind of a pain, but I'm glad they're done. Inside there, got the little bar that keeps the back sturdy, because you'll notice that if that's not supported, these can, like, one tends to stick up and one tends to stick down, but now they're nice and straight. Also put in the fire extinguisher under there. Quick release on there, so we'll need 2 hands to put that up and put the eyeballs back in. So still have to finish underneath here to put them back on properly, but what you got to say?
I think some decent progress today.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so too. I got some good time into it for sure.
Crimping some power for our lights and USB circuits right now.
Yeah, we have the kind of just pigtails coming off for the USB over there, and then we have dimmer lights and cabin lights. I guess a big bright light in the middle, and then like accent lighting or nighttime lighting in my eyebrow and stuff. So yep, chipping away. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, so I'm starting to measure this. We're gonna put a TOGA switch here, and then the 2 dimmers for the panel and the ambient, whatever, the cabin lights over here. So I'll just getting some measurements. All right, the TOGA switch is in. I think we bought like 4 different switches before we decided on one that works, or that works electronically and aesthetically. I got both of these in as well. These are really nice knobs. I'm gonna see if I can get a black nut for it, or maybe a nice knurled knob that covers the nut. But as it is, behind it, there's this pin that locks in to keep it from spinning. So this spacer I just put on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a spacer out of 1/8 inch ABS that actually covers both, because obviously this carbon fiber is so thin, I don't want to drill a hole through it and risk, you know, going through it and having that pin on the visible side. So I'm making a piece of plastic that has the 2 pinholes in it, acts as a spacer, and because there's 2 of them, obviously it won't be able, as long as they're in the same piece, it won't be able to rotate. So that's the plan for right now. And I'm also, I think I told you, I powder coated this piece here because I have a little powder coating oven at work, but it's not big enough for these, so I actually just bought a bigger oven. We can use it at work anyway, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to be working on these panels here. George bought a laser etching machine, so I know he's jonesing to try that out. So we'll get him powder coated, and then he can do the etching of the graphics and the lettering, and we'll keep you posted, see how that goes. All right, just a little plastic piece I'm talking about. And if my theory is correct, this will go through, and that little pin, yep, there you go. So that keeps it from turning. And then the one next to it, same thing. That pin goes through. And since I needed a little 1/8 inch spacer anyway, should be able to put these things through here, put the nuts on it, and that keeps it from spinning. So, yeah, I thought that was a pretty good idea. I can probably put a little adhesive on it so that actually stays glued in there in case you ever have to take it out, you don't lose it. All right, next up are these aluminum inserts. We had made these acrylic ones, kind of look cool in red, while we were building it. Then from the DNX or DFX file, we had cut these. I believe George used Send, Cut, Send, or one of those companies to do it. Yeah, and they look pretty good. They did forget, or somebody forgot to drill the mounting holes on one of them, so I just traced it over from that with another 27 bit. And somewhere along the way I had the ridiculous idea of countersinking all the screws. I mean, you can use pan heads, and that would probably be fine, but these ones need to be countersunk anyway because they sit below the G3X. So I set up my little micro stop, trying to get these all perfect. Did a little test piece over here, and yeah, give it a whirl, see how it comes out. Well, most of them came out perfect or close to perfect. Let's see, I think that's a really good one. So it's 100-degree countersink, 100-degree 6/32 flathead countersunk screw. They're stainless steel and I got them black anodized, and I'll probably touch up the top black too because I think we're making this black. And then I have to transfer these holes over from these switches and the switch guards. And there's like this discrepancy. These were done on the computer. So the red was done by me, and they're actually exactly 1 inch, which they're supposed to be, this pattern here. Chuk, chuk. But somewhere along the way something got a little skewed in the aluminum. So fortunately those holes are undersized, so I can basically make an adjustment, and they're in all different directions. I don't know what happened there, but I can just file them open in the proper direction, so I can save it. Not really sure what happened there, but these were definitely, I mean, these are only 1 inch exactly apart, and these were not 7/8, but OW 15/16 or something. Yeah, so they wouldn't fit, but between filing the holes open in the appropriate direction and enlarging them, I got those to fit. So now I'm working on like all these edges, and these things were laser cut, you can tell. The edges are very, very rough, so I don't want to stick them into the carbon fiber and scratch it all up, so I taking a little file and knocking the edge off and sanding the edge off. But if I were to make a recommendation, I would have these CNC'd, and that would leave a much cleaner edge. So not that this isn't usable, it's very nice and it's accurate, I hope. We're gonna bolt it into the plane in a minute, but definitely would save a little bit of elbow grease if you have them CNC'd rather than laser cut. All right, so I got all the panels sanded, cleaned, prepped, and this is the moment when you're like all excited to put them in, and you realize that you never actually put any nut plates for the center panel. I don't know what I was thinking there. Maybe I wasn't, but all right, time to take it all apart again. And the best part about having to put these nut plates in is this needs to come out, but I just spent yesterday putting those in. So yeah, to saying that's gonna stink is an understatement. But yeah, it's a few things I forgot. The G5, I think I never provided it originally for installing it. I gotta put another nut plate here, and then there's 3 holes I gotta be drilled there. That's not a big deal, but that one's gonna be a bugger. But not tonight. There's the little one, the G5 is in, and the hole was a little bit oversized, so what I did is I actually put thin tape around all of it, but then I had to cut it where the bracket gets very close on the top and bottom. So basically the tape allows it to be centered, which then allowed me to mark these holes, and then I did just countersunk 1/2 inch 6/32 screws, the same ones that hold all of the rest of the mechanics of the panel in. Not these ones here. These are a shallower, what are they? Are they 120? Oh, 100 degrees, I think. These are, I don't know, whatever they are, steeper, more of a regular countersinking bit like that. And so I got that flush in. Now I still have to put one nut plate here, so if I mount it just like that, each one of these nut plates is different on the G3X, then the flush rivets will be underneath the trim ring of this, so you won't actually see them from the front, so that'll be good. And I'm gonna do that now. I like the way that came out. Looks cool. Those are all bolted in. This is the last nut plate. The other ones are in the plane on the sub panel. Now I am working on this, so I had to undo all my safety wires that I had on the little brace in there, pull these suckers back out, and basically I drilled all the holes for the nut plates, and I can't fit my micro stop in here, but I was happy to find this guy. I don't know when or why I bought it, but it's about the angle of the countersunk rivets. So if all goes well, I'll be able to get my squeezer in there, put the plates on, open those up, and be done with that. Once again, the instrument panel is in, kind of just making sure everything fits. I didn't put these back in, I just didn't feel like dealing with that right now. Well, I didn't tighten them. Also wonder what people are doing with those nuts on the back. I took measurements. These are 1-inch nuts and that's a 1/2-inch nut. But how do you get behind there to tighten them? You need like one of those plumber's wrenches or to get at a faucet or something. But yeah, I think we're gonna lay out what we're gonna put where. We're still gonna put the circuit breakers in. I was kind of thinking here, but George thinks that's too crowded, so we're probably gonna put them up there. But yeah, kind of just got rolling and kept putting more stuff in. I put all the nut plates in behind here, got these all to line up, so pretty happy with that. My drawer, I think George may have the comm unit, not sure, the radio, but I'm liking it. So I got a bigger powder coating oven coming, so you can powder coat that. But for now, I'm tired. Yeah, way past my bedtime. Good night.